Hey, happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great Thursday. And welcome into my little world for a moment or two. Hey, it's October the 1st. It may not mean a whole lot. Of course, we notice the beginning of a month always. It's a kind of a significant change in a way. Today, the beginning of the month, my wife used to go around pinching the punch first of the month and no return. So you catch somebody that way, go right ahead. That's up to you. You can deal with that as you desire, and no guarantee they won't punch you back. And first of the month with a full moon, two full moons this month. The end of the month, 31st, they say we will have a blue moon. Not that the moon is blue, it's just two full moons during the month. We have one today, we have one at the end of the month. All this interesting information. But it is the month of October. October. And maybe you've thought a little bit occasionally about how the months were named. And if you know anything about math and Latin and all that kind of stuff that's so exciting that you learned way back in school, you know that octo has to do with, has to do with 8. Well, why in the world would they name the 10th month of the year Octo or October and act like it's the 8th month of the year? We go around all month calling it October right up until Halloween. We call it October when it's the 10th month of the year. Why don't we call it Decktober? That takes some getting used to, wouldn't it? Well, if you go back to the Romulan calendar, no, made by Romulus, 750 years before Jesus, October was the 8th month of the year. But somewhere along the line, bringing in the Julian and the Gregorian calendars, aren't you interested in all this stuff? They added a couple of months, January and February, that short month were added in, and suddenly the 8th month became the 10th month, but somehow they didn't change the name, and that's the point. That's the point. We still call it October. Maybe we don't think much about the meaning of the word anymore because the name kind of lost its significance. When you're a kid, October, like I said, that just relates to Halloween. Nowadays, you think of it as the last month of daylight savings time. First Sunday in November, we adjust our clocks an hour. This time of year, fall back. That's good. Get an extra hour's sleep on that Sunday morning. Don't be late for church service or streaming if we're still doing that kind of thing a month from now. But anyway, when you think about that, you think about that name, it's kind of like Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet, a rose by any other name. You probably heard that quote, haven't you? I didn't make it up. Oh, I said Shakespeare. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. And there's some truth to that. But we like to have a certain significance to names, wouldn't we? In Proverbs 22, it says, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. Now, I know he's talking about a reputation there, but we associate it with the name. And people are often proud of their names, where they came from, and the associations of their names. And people can tell the stories. I can tell you about mine. But you're not so interested in that, except those of you who already know it. And as we think about a name, we like to live up to the meaning of the name. When we name our children, we think about it. We associate it with family or events or something very strong, something very special. There's something that brings us to give that name to the child that's born to us. When they're added to our family, we want them to have a name that will be recognized, a name that they will hold up. So we like names, and we like to live up to our names. A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. And sometimes people have struggles with names. I think about what James says of those who would oppress, and he says, do they not blaspheme the noble name by which you are called? And I know he's got a specific in mind there, but just in the thought of, we don't like somebody belittling the name. Yes, a rose by any other name may smell just as sweet, but we still like the word rose, don't we? And we still associate with a beautiful flower. We still associate it with the fragrance of it, or any other plant, or any other. A name is important. While October may no longer be the 8th month of the year, a name has value. And when people say your name, you want them to recognize you. You want them to recognize you for who you are. It's the way it is. And there are names that when we hear them, we immediately associate, and we should. So what am I telling you? Yes, James points out, blaspheming the great name, the noble name of which you are called. We don't want anyone to belittle the concept of a Christian. That name needs to be important. And yours. When people say your name, you want them to recognize you for the qualities that are in your life. So today, go out and make your name. Make your name important. Stand up for it. Not just today, but every day, but make a special effort today. Let your name be something for which you are proud. Hey, it may be the 10th month. We'll still call it October. We'll share some more things down the way. Glad you were with me today.